out here. Oh, sorry, camera. This camera is gonna hate me one day. Oh, there goes the battery. It's definitely dead. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dan, and this is Dan Diamond Detailing. Today, I am proud to announce I'm going over one of my favorite new products all the way from South Korea, a product called Luminus, okay? This video is going to be particularly long, so hopefully you will stay with me and enjoy the process of the clean. I'm going to go over the products that I purchased with my own money. I have no endorsements, no sponsorships. I am a relatively new channel, so I hope you like what what I have for you. And if you like stuff like this, stick around. I will be trying out a couple more products later on. The first ones we're going to be going over is a tire and wheel cleaner called Blaze. Okay, Blaze looks like it's about 1 to 3 to 1 to 10 in a foam cannon or a spray foamer. I will probably use the X foamer because I'm inside today and I don't want to have to deal with the pressure washer and all that fun stuff. Yesterday, I filmed already Mint, so we will go over Mint. I like the fragrance and I will give you my final thoughts on that later on in the end of the video. Also, we will be applying all these things we've already pretty much gone over, but I will be showing you in this video Luminous Aqua, which has a dilution ratio of either between 1 to 50, 1 to 100 in the foam cannon, or if you use a Marolax or an IK sprayer, which is a lot more conservative on you, it's 1 to 100 to 1 to 200. So let's say this is a half a liter. This is 200. This can basically stretch you 200 of these bottles. Okay, this will last you a very, 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 very long time. And I will post some photos right here of the water beating. I applied this yesterday, and then maybe 35, 40 minutes later, my wife had to go do some chores, and she came back, and it was like lightly misting out there. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and every other day it's raining. So she came back, and there was a couple of water droplets on this around here, and I took a couple of quick shots. So I will post that up here. Then after we sprayed and sealed and dried off the car, we came in with the Black Diamond. This is a spray sealant, okay? Very hydrophobic, very slick. I don't know if that means there's not much gloss, but it says maybe not much gloss. It's hard for me to tell. My car is not brand new. It's 11 years old. It's got 180,000 miles on it, and I have never polished, and I don't even ceramic coat my car, but it looks like it's in great shape. Then we tested out the window treatment. We will be testing this out and giving you my final thoughts on all these products later. And then last but not least, we will be going over Leather Armour. Leather Armour is their leather cream and conditioner. And yeah, you'll see what I have my thoughts about that. So stay tuned, and let's wash this car. All right, so today we are going to be trying Blaze. Okay, Blaze, and I'm going to be using a foam sprayer. The directions is telling me to basically spray onto the surface of the wheel or tire and wait a minute before rinsing with a pressure cleaner. Severe dirt, remove with a brush. Okay, repeat the procedure if necessary. So right now I have a pretty dirty wheel, as you can see, pretty baked on, nice and dirty. Okay. Let's give this a shot. I'm going to lightly rinse the wheel first to kind of get it wet. Anytime you're dealing with stuff, you might as well at least saturate the wheel. I have very high water pressure, so right now I'm lowering the pressure. So prime it. This is a foam sprayer. Kind of get in there inside as well. It shoots out very easily. I don't have to really pull the trigger very, very aggressively. As you can see, it's kind of splashing all over. So kind of get a little closer. feel like I've used about like a quarter of the bottle already. I'll let that sit for about 1 minute. Say 1 minute. Okay. And then I will come in with my wheel brush here. The water in my bucket is 4 gallons of Nemesis V2 with a splash, maybe 3 or 4 ounces of all clean diluted at about 30 to 1. I don't usually need 15 to 1 because my wheels, you know, they get cleaned about once every 2 to 3 months, so they don't get too crazy. And this is a Prius, so it doesn't have like extreme brake dust. As you can see here, it's starting to pull everything down. This is just blaze right now. Okay, we'll come in with the brush. I was supposed to do this 1 to 3 or 1 to 10. Let's cut back and do this again in an X foamer. Okay, let's try that again. Because now I have a 1 to 10 solution in my X foamer. This is 400 milliliters of water mixed with 40 milliliters of blaze. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, much better. Consistency, okay? And if you want, go ahead and, this is 1 to 10, okay? 1 to 10. Looks really good. And I didn't use very much. I could definitely probably do 4 tires. 4 tires with 400 milliliters of, so basically 40 milliliters of blaze can probably do 4 tires. And as you see now, the way it's running off, it's still running, but it's not as clumpy. I'm not using as much. I hardly smell anything right now. I basically smell dirt, dirty tire. I don't smell any stinky egg, rotten egg. I don't smell any nasty fumes. I don't smell any caustic smells. Let's come back in here with that brush again. Reminder, I'm using Nemesis in my wash bucket. I have 4 gallons of Nemesis V2 in my wash bucket with about 3 or 4 ounces of all clean at a dilution ratio of about 30 to 1. And right now we're demonstrating Luminus Blaze in the X foamer at a dilution of 1 to 10. As you see, it foams pretty well there. If you see the steam, it's because I'm using hot water. Why not use hot water if you got it? Especially if it's 60 degrees here on a winter January. What is it? January 11th right now. So if you're watching this in 2026, Happy New Year's. Hope you had a good time. If you did anything interesting, feel free to add it in the comments. I'm a relatively new channel, so any sort of engagement, feedback, would love to hear it. I have a lot of stuff here, and I would love to, it really encourages me when I see people writing comments. You don't have to have, it doesn't always have to be positive. It doesn't always have to be friendly. It could just be inquisitive or whatever. And to me, honestly, I really like that. So I'm using right now the DIY's wheel facing brush. It gets into the crevices. It's very soft. It looks like it should be scratching, but it's just stiff enough to kind of sweep away the dirt, but not leave any marks on your wheel face. Then come on in and rinse that off when you're done. They recommend a pressure washer, but I'm inside and I don't want to deal with that, and I just lower my pressure and just go into town over here. Okay, and as you see, But the camera looks very nice. That's Blaze. Basically, 40 milliliters of Blaze can probably clean all 4 tires. All right, guys, let's see what the next product is. Dilution for general dirt, 1 to 1,000. Severe dirt, 1 to 500. Smells very minty. 1 ounce in the foam cannon. About 800. All right, 2 gallons and 15 milliliters. Always shake. 15 milliliters. There we are. Right there, almost 20 milliliters. We'll be using this today. Set it on turbo. Let's see how this performs. Looks like I'm having some leaking issues right now. First time with this gun. Probably because I haven't used it in like 2 weeks. Pretty watery. Ouch. This is 1 ounce right now. Let's try, 2 ounces. Actually, you know what? It's cold out here and this thing is freezing, so let's just continue with 1 ounce. I will fix this foam cannon later. At least it's giving me a nice shower. Looks pretty good. Smells nice and minty out here, like I'm at the brushing my teeth or something. I'll let that dwell for a few minutes. Used about maybe half. Let's see how it's doing here. Let's see, I'll take this camera. And we can see how it's dripping. Moving pretty slowly. You can kind of see nice thick lather. This is it is 47 degrees out right now, so it's on the chillier side. The sun was out about 20 minutes ago, but of course, since I have to film, you know the sun's got to run away, which is fine because most soaps don't really want to be in direct sunlight anyways. All right, now that it's been a few minutes, let's go ahead and rinse this off. Get that there. Always spray away from the car first in case there's any accidents, and wash from top to bottom. Wash off is pretty easy. I don't think we would have needed 2 ounces. This is rather thick for 1 ounce. It wasn't very foamy, but I mean, you don't always need foam. You really just want the soap to be heavy enough to kind of bring the dirt down safely. You also want it to kind of attach to the grit and the grime and the dirt. Washes off pretty well. There's no like serious layer of film attached to it, it seems like. Yeah, pretty good. And you don't need to do 100% because you're going to come in here with your contact anyways. So just get, most of the stuff off. I didn't smell much of the mint out here like I would do with some of these other soaps. I would have to try this out inside, but I don't wash my car inside unless it's a rinseless. Another reason why I'm a big fan of rinseless. But overall, it's pretty good. I mean, you'll see the rinse off. My car is not ceramic coated. My car is not ceramic coated, but it has been recently deconned with iron remover and a clay towel. So it doesn't have that much fallout right now. So it does kind of dry a lot easier, but it's not going to be as smooth or as slick as a ceramic coated car. But personally, I like not having a ceramic coating car because then I can test products better for the consumers who do not have a ceramic coated car, because a lot of people test their products on coated cars and it's hard to judge how long a product will last if the car is not coated. As you see, there's already some cheating here. The beading is not very crazy, but there's some, I would say something is not very active right there. It might need to be reactivated with some sort of acid reset wash. But overall, pretty good. Okay. All right, let's see here. I'll come in here with a contact. I like to use hot water here. Oh, actually, let's foam one real quick. Whoop. Making a mess. No, we don't need to go crazy. I just kind of want the car coated, and my pressure cannon is kind of messing up right now, so I'm not going to go too crazy. But, for the gist, you kind of want your car coated without getting rained on by a pressure cannon. But ultimately, it's pretty good. It coats well. Of course, let's see. And a little bit on the top in the back here for love. It looks like we're just pretty much out of the 1 liter. Or we're about looks like we have about 100 milliliters left here. Okay, now we'll come in for the contact. I knew I was missing something. Yeah, see? I'm so much of a rinseless guy, I almost forgot that I need all this juicy suds for the car. Alright. Not bad. Slickness is okay. It could be possible because it's cold out here. Very nice. Pretty good. It's clear distinction where I've been and where I haven't wiped. Not bad. Now my car isn't super dirty because I clean it so often.
But if you have a super dirty car, I might recommend not using just one wash mitt. Yeah, pretty slick over here on the side. Side panel's feels a lot slicker. Let's see. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, nice and lubricious. Oh, let's see here. Come back in with the second panel. There we go. Yeah, not bad. After we wash this off, we will see how it's doing. Up, 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 up. Does not like that. Okay, always go over panels just to ensure coverage of your wash pad. Alright, make sure you get under there. This is just a quick wash. I'm not going to go too crazy. You know, after really just testing out the soaps. It's okay if I miss a spot. I washed my car every other day. Come on in. Definitely a lot of soap, a lot of suds. I can smell the mint now as I'm getting a little closer. You know, the thing is, I'm kind of so used to that mint from brushing my teeth that it just doesn't really stand out to me. It smells nice and refreshing. You know, I bet this would be even nicer in the summer when it's hot out and you got like that nice, crisp, refreshing, you know, icy smell. But right now, it really doesn't do much for the outside when it's 47 degrees or whatever, 42 degrees. That's not bad. I'm not complaining. I got some hills here, so I gotta be careful. Everything loves to roll on me today. I don't want to get a ladder, but it's not really necessary. Yeah, this wipes off pretty well. Yeah, not bad. Starting to lose some sight of where I haven't been because it's starting to really run off after the second rinse. Alrighty, and that's about it. Yeah, I'm using hot water right now. And, you know, it's not freezing out here. I mean, it's cold. It washes off pretty well. Yeah, not bad. Alright, it's getting annoying. It's kind of hard to rinse off. It keeps splashing back over there. Very, like, I don't know. It's not as soapy. It's more runny. So it kind of splashes. It kind of comes out of nowhere. Not bad. Yeah, panel still kind of sheets pretty low. Perfect time for some Luminus Aqua. Let's check out that Luminus Aqua, shall we? Yeah, hey, look at this. Look at that. How annoying is this? It's just too watery. Personally, mint is, I mean, I would personally try it, and if you really like it, get more, but it's just not my style, especially as a, I don't know. Again, I'm a rinseless guy, so maybe I'm biased. Okay. Let's organize all this. Okay, fixed my gun, got some new tape on the threads there, and I'm going to try Luminus Aqua. Okay, this is a nano polish and hydrophobic wet coat, easy application, super high gloss, super high water repellency. In the foam cannon, it's 1 to 50 to 1 to 100. I'm going to do 1 to 150, 1 to 50, sorry for saying that. And here we go. So I have 400 milliliters of water here. I'm going to use the Griot's foam cannon. It is pronounced Griot, in case everyone else doesn't know T is silent. Okay. So we are pouring 400 milliliters. And for a 50 ratio, we will need 7.5 milliliters, give or take. And I marked it on the lid here, so it's easier to see. Always shake your products. I have not opened this yet. Ooh, nice little. Let's get a little. That smells okay. Can't really think of a smell. That's about it. Okay. Looks like it's slightly green, gelatiny. Let's see. Drips pretty well. I want to add more water to it, but you know, just how about that? Go like that, stir it in there. Just so we can get all of that in there, because the dilution is so, you know, that could be 1 milliliter in that little cup right there. Now, to be honest, there was a little bit of mint in there. I did dump it out, but I didn't wash it out. So, a little mint in there, okay? It's not going to hurt anybody. Alright, let's give this a shot. Okay, so before we apply Luminus Aqua, I want to show you where I'm at. The beading is still here. There's some dead spots, especially around the panels here. Look at that. Yeah, this is nice. So here, clearly dead. Very dead. Okay, now let's give Luminus Aqua a shot here. Even with two hands, it's not easy. Make sure it's on securely. Don't knock that over. All right, 1 to 50 in a foam cannon. Oh gosh, this was. Is this the part that's? How? What happened? Oh gosh, let's redo this. All right, it's the foam cannon that's having issues here. Not the. It might just be loose. Looks like it's just loose. Let's just tighten that and see if that works. Okay. Give that a shot. Oh, much better. All right. So as you see, okay, let it sit for, I don't know, about a minute. Not very watery, not very. That's a bit. Has a nice smell to it. Has like sandalwood, some sort of oud. Oh, now the beads are coming in. Now the beads are starting to come in. Always make sure you wash away that froth. Okay, if you're getting streaks, it's probably because you're not washing away the froth completely. Any wash away sealant, look at that. Look at the beads now. Look at that. Look at those tight beads. Any wash away sealant, you're gonna really need to make sure you thoroughly rinse it away. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how much tighter that is now. Oh, look at that. It's like a ceramic coating. Look at that. Yeah, see, right there. Make sure all of that is rinsed off completely. You don't want streaking. Smells very pleasant, like a men's aftershave. All right, very good. All right, let's try this side here. Okay, so we got some dead panels. Even here, it's hydrophobic, but there's some, you can see it's kind of like dead. Well, a lot of that aqua might have blown over here. It's still pretty good. You can still see some of, like right around here. Definitely here. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's give it a shot. Go get the can in here. Alrighty. Really all you need. Might as well get the whole car because I'm out here. Oh, sorry, camera. Rest in peace, camera. R.I.P. All right, after waiting about, 35, 45 seconds to a minute, start rinsing it off. And like I said, make sure there's no foam or froth. Get all that froth off. You can see it's still dead right now, but oh, now look, it's starting to spurk up. Look at that. See right here? Look at that. Look how tight that just got. Look at that. You see, that's crazy. So over here, it's still kind of dead. And then look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. All of a sudden, now it's just alive. Look at that. Wow. Luminus Aqua. Make sure everything's rinsed off. We got this side over here. This camera. This camera is gonna hate me one day. Oh, there goes the battery. It's definitely dead. Alright, we'll check this out later. Poor camera. Okay, anyways. So, dead panel. Now look at those beads. That's just crazy. Yeah, look at those beads. Look at that. This is the deadest part of the whole car. That's wild. Just need some water. Now I'm using hot water. Even though it's 47 degrees, I have access to hot water, fortunately. So might as well not, why not use it? Look at that. It just gets tighter and tighter. Yeah. It's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Yeah. Smells very pleasant. Like I said earlier, like a men's aftershave or some sort of like fancy shampoo. Men's shampoo. Very nice. Very pleasant. Definitely no solvent smells. And very subtle too. You kind of have to like can't smell it now, but you kind of have to get pretty close to it to really smell it. And you know, just to be sure, just make sure if you see any sort of froth, just make sure it's off. The next step will be the drying aid. Now, Luminus Aqua looks so slick, I probably won't even need a drying aid, so let's try that out without a drying aid. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, everything is rinsed off. Ooh. If you can smell it, that means it's probably still there. So, get it. Looks really good. Okay. Now let's dry. Been having some camera issues. I've been having some the foam cannon issues. But honestly, I think it was just loose. It wasn't even that big of a deal. Now let's try two different drying aids. This is the, I forget which one that is. The from the rag company. This is my favorite, the rinseless diva. Oh god, that's slick. Slick, but it's not absorbing. Look at that. Need to, maybe it's cold. It's got to pick up the water someday, right? Maybe this towel just needs some love to. There we go. Go a little slower. Now it's kind of broken in, but it's still might need a drying aid. Look at this. It's still pretty smeary. Let's see. Let's try the other towel here. I think this is not the liquidator. I think this is the. Honestly, the name is ringing a bell. I'll look it up online when I do some editing, and I will post the name here. This dries. This looks like this towel's drying a lot better with all the extra water. I don't know why my rinseless diva is having issues, but this one, see, this one's still having issues too. Just need to go over it a couple of times. It smells very pleasant. Definitely can smell it still. Maybe it's from the ground here. This smells excellent. Yeah, I really enjoy the smell, and it's very slick. It's very slick, like not a quick detailer slick, but very smooth. And it has a nice clean feel too. Very nice clean feel. Yeah. Drying's a little slow. Also keep in mind it's like 40 degrees. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring the car inside, put all this stuff away, and we will see you in there. All right, we made it back inside. So we can continue the test in here. I want to be able to show the drying capabilities of Luminus Aqua without a drying aid. Seems to dry pretty well now that I'm inside. A lot better. It's about 62 degrees in here. It was about 47 outside. And it was getting colder because it was getting a little later in the day now. These glasses that I'm wearing, these Meta glasses, they have died on me 3 times already filming this 1 hour car wash. They last about 20 minutes if you're filming. I'm not even filming in 4K, I'm just filming in 1080. And they just die. I know. And then you gotta charge, but they charge rather quickly. It take about 45 minutes to an hour to charge. But back on. So as you see here, it's pretty good. You wipe away some of that. You still see some of the dirt and grime from that from the gravel dirt earlier shown. I will make another quick clip here just so you can see what I was talking about. But yeah, right there's still some grime. So the mint really didn't take it off in the pre-wash. And I guess I didn't really take it off with my wash pad. I might have to go over footage and see if I missed that spot. But I'm pretty sure I was paying extra close attention to that area specifically because that was pretty much the dirtiest spot on the whole car. So we'll see. Now, as I was washing off the foam cannon, because I was using Luminus Aqua in the foam cannon, that's a sealant, and I don't want my cannon to get clogged, so I always rinse off. And I realized the smell reminded me of Coach Chemi's active foam, which is probably one of my favorite smelling high alkaline, I wouldn't say high, but higher alkaline pre-washes. And yeah, it's Luminus Aqua reminded me of that smell, but not as strong and very overpowering like active foam can be. All right, and today we are going to be trying Luminus Black Diamond Advanced Formula, their nano polish, okay? Hydrophilic, super slick. Does that mean there's no gloss? I don't know. We will see. Give it a shot. That's all you really need. Nice. Feels kind of smooth. I like the smearing though, because I can see where I've been. I like that smearing. Now let's polish that off. You can kind of see that haze. Second towel. Pleasant smell. Floral. Another kind of cleaner smell. Very nice. All right, let's try that again. Same towels. Always shake your products. Look at that. Look at that. So prominent. Look at how prominent that is. Oh, probably only need one. You probably just need one spray per panel. Let's go. And I have a fairly large back door here. You can kind of see you could see the haze. Okay, now let's buff that off. Has a slight grabbiness to it, but again, I kind of like that because I know where I've been and where I have not been. It's not super slick. Let's try a fresh side. Forgot to record. Alrighty, looks good. I'd say slickness, you know, above average. You know, not special, not super special. It's pretty good though. Okay. And this camera, we just didn't do anything with it because, and you can kind of see right here. You can kind of see that if you can. Now I just buffed that off. Just make sure you go over the panels. It's not streaking on the glass. That's really good. Yeah, it's smooth. It smells great. And immediately, since any sort of like high protection, immediately dunk your towels in some sort of rinseless or microfiber solution. I poured the remainder of the mint and I added like 2 gallons of DIY's rinseless. I like their smell. I like their product a lot. And that is Black Diamond's Advanced Formula. Okay, so next up, we are going to grab our favorite glass towel, which is either Nick's favorite glass towel or the Mr. Twister or For the Windows or For the Win. They're all pretty much the same towel. They all work great. Take one spray. This is Luminous Shine. It's very strong. I've used this already, as you noticed. It doesn't have a severe pungent what's the call? It doesn't have a very large solvent smell, but it lingers. It's super strong, like Traceless. Come in with your dry towel. Check that out. That looks beautiful. Let's see here. Try it here. One spritz, all you need. Get your towel that already has the glass towel dampened. Look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. You see how quick those streaks are? What is it? I'm losing my mind today. The flashing is so quick. Look at that flash. Very light flashing. Again, this stuff is super pungent. I cleaned my basement. I have a fitness room in the basement. So I have these giant mirrors that go around the whole wall. And I needed like literally just two or three sprays. And I was able to wash pretty much one wall of like 3 large mirrors. And it smelled up the entire house. I have like a 5,000 square foot house. And it was pungent through the entire house. So that's just let you know it's a very, very strong smelling glass cleaner, but it works, man. This works wonderfully. The flashing, look at the very little flashing. Look at that flash, if you can see that. It's very nice. I like this glass cleaner a lot. Now, to be honest with you, I have started to take the glass cleaner and dilute it with some other favorite glass cleaners of mine, like Kosh Chemi glass cleaner. Look at that flash, so little. You can see that. You don't even need to come in with a dry side. It's that good. And last but not least, we have Leather Armour. Okay, this is leather cream and conditioner. It's a breathable layer and moisturizer. Before you condition a car, leather, vinyl, fake leather, you do need to clean it first. And I recommend either Geist leather cleaner or Polestar. Now, both are excellent. I'm going to try Geist just because I really like the fragrance of Geist. Now let's show you here some areas that are dirty. You can see this. That's clearly oil. Okay? Oil on the edges shows that it's dirty. If it's shiny, that's dirty. Okay? So these edges, specifically right here, you can see. See, this is kind of cleanish. That's very dirty. So what we're going to do is take our leather cleaner, okay, and we are going to clean the seat. Get a little bit more because this seat is rather dirty. Okay. And if you foam it on the seat, I recommend not letting it sit because I've had situations where it's stained. Not car seats, but I've used Geist in my couches. And one time I foamed a couple of spritz and I walked away to go get a towel. I was gone for like maybe 20 seconds. I wiped it away and it was stained. It stained the couch. Okay, now wipe this away. May need to do it again. It's heavily soiled. Which in case this one is, because I purposely kept it nice and dirty so we can try this. And you can see now, there's no oil. It's not shiny anymore. Okay? All of that is in the towel now. Okay? It's all like right there. Okay? So now we're going to come in with the Blaze. I don't mean the Blaze, I mean Leather Armour. Okay? Once the seat is properly dried and you're using a clean towel, okay, clean towel, apply a little bit onto the towel. Again, you see I have not used this yet. It's a nice, has no real smell at all to it. Let's see. Okay. See that? Kind of has a consistency of a like shampoo conditioner. Okay, saturated into the seats. Okay, see how that just covers very well. That was probably more than plenty for the whole seat, as you see. More than saturating the whole seat. Very nice and shiny now. And let this sit for like a minute, not much more. Get into those cracks and crevices. And let's wipe it away. Okay. Application. Apply leather cream directly on a microfiber applicator. Gently rub into the surface until cream is dispersed, which we just did. Allow it to penetrate the surface. Okay, so that, to me, since they don't have a specific time, I'm going to say a minute or two. It really depends on if it's really cold, if it's hot. Then buff with a dry cloth. So since we use this towel, and we use this towel with the Geist, okay, we're going to soak that in the water. Let's get a fresh towel to buff it off, okay? I tend to like either the Eagle Edgelesses or the Freebirds. Both of them are excellent towels. And just kind of buff it off, get all that extra conditioner I went heavy on. Get it all out. And that's it. And that is how you clean and condition your seats. And Exa now has a nice, it's not super slippery. It looks shiny, but it's not. It doesn't feel oily at all. Very nice. Yeah. I'll try to take some photos of that later.
All right, this concludes the products that we tried from the Luminus line. I don't have all the products. I want to try L Wash and the other products, but this is what I have. The first we tried Blaze, which is the wheel and tire cleaner. This was recommended in a foam cannon or a foamer. I used a foamer in either 1 to 3 to 1 to 10. I recommend going least aggressive in every shape or form first. So I tried 1 to 10 and it worked like a champ. This stuff doesn't have a very strong smell and it has a lot of foaming. Very, very good. I like this a lot. I'm not the biggest wheel cleaner expert, but I do like a clean wheel, and especially when I don't have to work very hard. Next up, we have Luminous Mint. As the name explains, this is a mint fragranced smell, and it's pH neutral. There's no wax. It's very high lubricity, and it's very high foaming, and it leads up to the words. I tried this in a 800 milliliters to 1 ounce, and I was going to add 2 ounces, but after I rinsed off, I realized that was plenty. It didn't have a very high foaming, but it did stick to the panel, and it did run off pretty well. The pre-wash could have been a little stronger. Now, keep in mind, I did this outside. It was like 47 degrees, and it was kind of cold, and I didn't let it kind of like sit for very long. I probably could have let it sit for about another 5 minutes or so. But it overall was pretty good. After we rinsed off and then we put this in a bucket wash for contact. I used the Rag Company's sponge. I can't remember the name of their sponge. I'll post it right here. But basically, we came in with the sponge and we rinsed it off. My car is not super, super dirty, but we did a great job of it. The smell is not super strong. It is minty. It reminds me of like the dentist. I think because we're outside and it's colder, it wasn't super strong. I think this would be a better shampoo for in the summer when it's a lot warmer. But I think it is really nice. You can kind of see how thick it is. It's very thick once you shake it. Make sure you shake your products before you use them all the time. Next up, we have Luminous Aqua. Everyone loves Luminous Aqua, and I was so eager to try this out. Now, the price of this bottle is a little steep when you see the price for for only 500 milliliters. But once you realize that all I needed was 7.5 milliliters to 400 milliliters. So I put this in the foam cannon because they recommend either in the foam cannon or a pressure sprayer, either at the 150, 1 to 50, or 1 to 100. Okay, if you put in the pressure sprayer, 100 to 1 to 200. Do you know what that means? If you put this in your Marilax or your IK sprayer or a keg sprayer, you just need to dilute this to 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. That's so little. I went hard. I wanted to try it as strong as possible, so I did 1 to 50 in the foam cannon. And I knew I didn't need the whole foam cannon, so I just filled it up to 400 milliliters, and I just used 7.5 milliliters. 7.5, just like a little bit. And you saw the hydrophobics in the beating. I can show it to you right now again, just to show you how crazy it was. Okay, this was excellent. Excellent stuff. This will last you a long time. The smell, very pleasant, reminded me of active foam, very mild active foam. Active foam can be, from Coach Kemi, can be very strong. I personally love the smell of active foam. It's one of my favorite shampoos. So it kind of reminded me of that a lot. Luminus Aqua, excellent. Next, we have Luminus Black Diamond. Okay, this is a spray-on sealant. You gotta be careful with sealants with your towels from clogging. Once I use stuff like this, I immediately dip them in a microfiber or a rinseless solution and let them soak for a few hours before I wash them. As shown here, we sprayed this on the front hood and we sprayed this on the rear door, and we will check back in a few weeks to see how that's doing. Keep in mind, my car is not ceramic coated. It has not been polished, but it has been recently clayed. So this car is 11 years old and it's never been polished. It's never been ceramic coated. And it went to the car wash almost every day for like 9 years. And it looks this nice. So I'd say you might get some scratches, but at least you're not getting, clear coat failure from never washing your car and etched out water spots. So, now that I'm learning, I've learned. Then we came in and we used Luminous Shine. This is their glass cleaner. Now, I've used this a few times before, and a little goes a very long way. I have a fitness center in the basement, and I have pretty much a whole room of mirrors, and I just needed to do 2 or 3 spritz, and I was able to wash pretty much the whole wall of mirrors. And the smell is so strong that it pretty much smelled my entire house up. I have about 5,000 square foot house, and I could smell this everywhere. It's extremely strong smelling. It doesn't have a solvent smell. It has like a suntan lotion kind of suntan smell, but it does linger very strong, kind of like Traceless. Traceless has a very strong solvent smell. This is more of a floral smell, but it lingers. So I would recommend cutting this with at least distilled water, or just realizing you don't need very much, and it cleans like a champ. This was excellent. And last but not least, we have Leather Armor. Okay, Leather Armor had that like consistency of like a shampoo conditioner. Okay, you kind of have to squeeze it for it to pop out, kind of like clumpy. Doesn't have a fragrance. Okay, as you saw in the video, we used it on a microfiber towel, and it shined up the leather very much. If you like that high gloss, this is your type of leather conditioner. When you touched it immediately, there was no oily feeling. It wasn't slick. It wasn't sticky. Nothing. It felt like nothing was even there. So that's pretty much what you want with a leather conditioner. And that pretty much concludes what I have so far with Luminous. I love this brand. This brand is from South Korea. They recently just got onboarded from the House of Rag. Shout out to Eddie and Jamie for putting in an amazing line. Back to this real quick, now that I'm remembering. The bottle, this size, like 16 ounces or whatever, 500 milliliters, a little expensive. But like I said, you could cut this probably even 3 to 1. I'm going to try that. I'm going to cut this 3 to 1 and see how it does, because it's so strong and pungent that you might not even enjoy it because it's so strong. But you might really love this if it's cut. And the gallon. The price of this was expensive, but the gallon is insanely cheap. It's like 30 something dollars. As soon as this comes in, I'm getting a 5 liter immediately. I love this. I was going to get a gallon or 5 liters of Kosh Chemi's glass cleaner, because honestly, that's probably one of my favorite ones. But a gallon is like 90 something dollars, maybe $100. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna enjoy this from what I have. I have a couple of these bottles, but honestly, once they're gone, Shine is going to be replacing that. This stuff is just incredible. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have today. If you have any questions, feel free to like, subscribe. I know this channel is relatively new. I have a hard time asking people to subscribe, but if you like my content and stuff like this, please support me by just liking and subscribing. That's all you got to do. And maybe comments, What was the favorite product that you like here? If you respond, then I know you're at least listening all the way to the end here. um, when my channel gets to at least 1,000 followers, I'm gonna give away something pretty big. As you see, I have a lot of stuff here, and I don't have enough cars to wash it. So please, the magic word will be Luminus. Okay, hashtag Luminus. Do hashtag Luminus in the comments, and I will follow that for a small giveaway, not to 1,000. Let's say to 100. Okay, once I get to 100, I'm going to give away something big, and once I get to at least like 50 or 60 followers, I will disclose what that is, because I can't really think of what it is right now. I'll find something big. There's plenty of stuff to give away here. So thanks again. Like and subscribe. See you.